Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, we're doing another What Are You Playing episode for May 2023. I am Mike Albertin, and who's with me tonight?
I'm Joe Butler, and you'll never guess what I fused to my weapons today.
I am the Let's Play Princess Phoebe Stanton.
And your usual Tomb Raider, now Assassin's Creed guy, who is a little full of woe right now, Richard Sampson, who has the YouTube channel Rich Kale, which I invite everybody to check out, please.
All right, and thank you guys for joining me for another of these What Are You Playing episode. God, whenever I record in a different room, it just everything is so weird to me. Even though I'm sure it sounds fine, it's just like, it's not the right acoustics. Every time.
You sound great, dude. Don't worry about it.
You know, we record in one room. That's what happens. So if I have to start all these off, I'm going to start off with the one game I've been playing this last month, just to get it out of the way. Can anybody guess what it is?
Is it
The Marvel Snap?
Of course.
Oh.
Here I thought was DC Snap.
Hey, there is a DC card game coming, so I'm not excited for it.
I'm making a clever joke there.
I know, but there actually is a DC card game coming. I forget what it's called, but it's going to be PC only at first, so I'm going to definitely play it because apparently I have an issue, but I can't spend money on 2 card games a month. So I mean, I could, but I don't want to. Marvel Snap has me in there so bad. Like, they had a bundle, which was not very good. For $10, you get a mystery variant, you get 500 gold and 500 tokens, and I was like, And I really had to talk myself out of not doing it. And I'm like, damn, I played this game too much.
Mike, if they make a physical copy of Marvel Snap, are you going to start buying $100 boxes?
No. I used to be big into Magic the Gathering when I was younger. I was into Pokemon cards. I will never go into a physical card game again. Digital, I mean, I'm trying to keep where I just spend my $10 a month. I buy my season pass, and that's it. And I can live with that. They get their $10 a month for giving me a free card or a new card and a great month. And you know what? It's okay then.
What's the current event?
It's Guardians of the Galaxy, if you can guess that. Makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
You get Nebula for free, which actually is a really good card, which sometimes the season pass cards, they call it, are not the greatest, or they're way too good. This one is good enough.
See, who plays her in the movies?
Karen Gillian.
Who?
Karen Gillian, I think is her name.
Of course! I want Amy Pond.
She's in the Jumanji movie. She was in the Doctor Who, I think, too, is one of these.
Yeah, she's in Doctor Who.
Should really
and everybody wants Amy Pond.
Never watched Doctor Who yet. Nothing.
Should.
I should. I agree. It's one of those weird holes that I need to fix someday. But no, Marvel Snap is...
I have not watched it in recent years, but then again, I was into it before my wife passed away, so...
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to... I can completely get that.
She didn't watch it, but...
No, but it's something from that time.
Yeah. Actually, she got into Torchwood.
Such a good show.
I never watched that either, but someday. I keep telling myself someday. But no, Marvel Snap...
She liked John Barrowman.
Oh, and they started changing a thing in Marvel Snap, but I do want to mention that every week now they're doing patches they call them over-the-air updates, OTA, but every Thursday they'll nerf or buff a couple cards that people aren't playing or cards that are being played too much. And it's really cool because it alters the game every week where all of a sudden you're going to see new decks. I mean, I actually am the highest I've been in a few months in the ladder where I'm in the 80s and the goal is to get to 100, and I was 85. I'm currently 82 because I keep losing. So...
Okay, that's awesome, because it always seems that when it comes to card games, there's the meta deck, and then the meta just stays for a couple of years.
The meta changes quite often. Like, I use
That's good.
That's considered the best deck in quotations. I fucking lose all the time. But it's one of the best decks. But even then, you still, there's certain combos that people have. I can't beat them. Like,
it's probably a bit more dynamic than what some of the online games do. They wait a while before they decide to nerf something to see if people are abusing it. But if you do it like every week or something, you can't really get adept to using something.
Oh, they just started over-the-air updates, but it's like one card they made a 4/6, which doesn't mean anybody if you don't play Marvel Snap. But then when they saw it being played so much, then they lowered it to a 4/5, and they're trying to just play with it and see, they want to get a card played, but they don't want it to where it dominates the meta. So it's been really cool. I watch YouTube videos constantly about Marvel Snap every day. I follow like 3 or 4 different creators. It's become my game. I mean, it's something that I'm doing all the time when I can. Just playing a few matches here and there.
That's good.
My wife gets mad at me because I'll be playing it in the morning. I'm trying to get ready to take her to work, and I'm sitting there playing Marbles in the morning. She'll get mad at me. But I gotta do my daily missions when they pop up. You can't wait. But yeah, no, it's I still think you can get in this game now and just play. And yes, you won't have all the cards, but they keep saying they're gonna make changes to the system so that way newer people who get in can still get a lot of cards. And like for me, I'm only missing 12 cards in the game, and there's hundreds of cards at this point. So I'm not.
Yeah, I'm just actually looking at one of the cards variants that I'd only be interested in because I like the character.
I stay away from buying card variants unless I get them for free often, but for the most part, I try not to ever buy them because I save my gold to buy one of the gold is the currency you get that you can also get with real money, and I use that to buy. They have an event called Token Tuesdays every Tuesday where you can buy tokens, and tokens are what you use to unlock new cards, one of the currency in the game. So that's the way that I play it. So I can mostly play. Besides my $10, I'm free to play. So.
I got to admit, I'm looking at the artwork they have on some of these cards. They use some where they use comic covers or comic images, and the artwork is just beautiful.
Right, there's a lot of really good variants, and people will play different variants, whatever card they have, and so there's a lot of cool stuff that goes along with the game. I mean, usually people aren't as the community isn't as toxic. Like when you're losing, there's an emote which is Captain Marvel snapping at you, and it's usually the fuck you emote. People don't use it a lot on me lately. Lately, it's just been the fist bump on it. If I beat them, if they beat me, they'll give me a fist bump. Okay, good game. Nice. And it's nicer. Like when I first played this game, there'd be a lot of yeah, screw you, I beat you, but there's less of that now.
You could learn something. You could learn something, League of Legends.
But that's
a lot of game communities could learn something from that.
I mean, I'm sure that's not everybody's experience. That's just been my experience lately, and I do play every day. So, but I also tell people you only really need to go on. You do your daily missions, and that's it. You don't need to just play the game consistently. Just make sure you do all the missions, do your season missions, and that's it. I mean, I do play more just because I'll try to win cubes and move with a ladder sometimes and then lose terribly. And then okay, I'm done. Sometimes I'll gamble and I'll be okay, I'm going to win this match. I'm going to bet 8 cubes, which is the most you can bet, and then dump a lot of cards that I knew that I should have known was coming. Yep, there goes the match. I lost. Or I'll gamble. I wonder if I'll be one number above them. Nope, I wasn't. So, yeah, but great game. And I can't stop playing it. So, Phoebe, what is something that you've been playing lately?
Oh, God, there have been a few games. While at work, got a lot of Thief Rhythm Final Fantasy. I can't put that game down. That is definitely my current Switch game.
Which
one?
The new one, Final Bar Line. I'm almost done with every song on Basic, just their initial playthroughs. Then I'll go through and get all the critical charts done. And then I'll jump to the next difficulty. I've just been going through the story mode. Besides that, the same stream games and recording games as before. A lot of Vampire Survivors. That game just sucked me in. My God,
I have not played that now in months.
There's new DLC out.
Yeah, I bought it.
I haven't bought the DLC yet. I'm just going through the base game. I didn't think the idea of a bullet heaven would be that appealing, but the power creep that you get is so good.
Mm-hmm. I lost interest in it because I got to the point where gold didn't mean anything anymore. There's no more upgrades that I'm ever getting, so I'm just trying to get certain achievements, and I fell off completely.
All right.
But I loved it for a few months.
Besides that, been getting a little bit more into mobile gaming than I usually am. This week I tried, what is it called? Street Fighter Duel.
I want to hear your opinion on this crap.
Okay. So Street Fighter Duel is not a bad game per se. It definitely plays well. Its combat's really good, getting different combos with different characters and seeing this almost Marvel versus Capcom type thing where you'll cancel from one person's super into another person's super because you can have 3 characters on the screen, an assist character, and then there's 3. You unlock the ability to attach a character to each character, so it's like you're putting their stats on somebody. The problem with that game is it is such a game for whales that is disgusting.
I tried it a little bit last month just to talk about it, but I didn't mess with it too much.
So
I didn't understand it.
There are 3 banners that are just from the initial drawing pool. One banner is with a special currency that you only unlock from PvP or some crap. One of them is your actual normal banner, which you'll use gems or whatever for. And the third one is a banner that is, hey, tell all of your friends about this game and have them play for X amount of time and you'll get currency from this. When you do the base banner, you're guaranteed either a B or A character. Sometimes you'll get a mix of B and A's. And you have to fuse 3 characters of the same rank that are the same, like 3 A rank reused together, to go up to the next rank. But the problem is most mobile games go to S rank and it stops or so. From what I've gathered, the highest thing that you can get from the banner is A, but the highest thing that you can have is a triple S. And it doesn't just go A, S, double S, triple S. It goes A, A plus, S, S plus, double S plus, triple S. It is such a money grabbing scheme that it's disgusting. Meanwhile, your main menu is overrun with different little icons and stuff that you would think, oh, that's the PvP, that's this, that's that. And it's like, no, do you want to specifically buy this character? Send us $50. Do you want to start this event for character B? Send us $50. There's like 20 icons on the menu that are just, give us extra money.
See, that's why I uninstalled it really quick. It was just too much. I mean, like, go back to Marvel Snap. I mean, yes, they do have, like, right now they have a $100 bundle where I was like, I'm like, I would kill myself if I buy this. I'll be so angry. But like, I don't need it to upgrade. I would just get more tokens so that I could buy more some of the cards I'm missing faster. Would it make me win more? No way in hell. It would just make me feel like I just wasted $100. But no, Street Fighter Duel sounds very like you don't have a choice if you're trying to level up your characters. I played it like you had to level up to get farther in the game.
Yeah. I never saw any equipment because you can equip your characters with equipment. Anything above a green tier. And it never showed the ability to level up your gear. It never showed the ability to fuse your gears, your duplicates together to raise it up. So I don't know if you just have to find better gear in the later chapters or what, but sometimes you can't handle even up to chapter 3 or 4 without doing the banner pull about 5 or 6 times and hoping to get lucky. It's gross.
That's why it gets uninstalled.
Which is, yeah. Unlike the other mobile game, which has been Tomb Raider Reloaded. As Richard, I love you, man. As another big, huge Tomb Raider fan, this game is just going through the original Tomb Raider 1, the whole story of Natwa and the Scion and everything. But it's a roguelike, and you can decide which weapon or so you want to grab, and then bring them into the chapter, and you'll get different roguelike abilities like fire bullets, which will do burn damage on an enemy, or the ability for your bullets to, once they hit an enemy creature like a bat, they'll bounce off and hit a second creature for free. But the big thing about it is, just like the Street Fighter game, when you get 3 of a duplicate, a weapon, armor, backpack, etc., you can fuse them together, and it'll automatically upgrade it to the next rank. And it is just normal loot tier lists. It's common, it's green, blue, purple, and then gold is the final one. But unlike Street Fighter, where you have to buy everything, it feels like, here you don't have to spend a single dime.
You're selling me on it.
Everything that you can get in the game is inherently droppable by enemies in the chapters. And I mean, sometimes they'll drop green tier stuff. And if you get lucky, like you'll run the same chapter 3 times and get 6 of them or so. And then that automatically just gives you the first 2 blues to upgrade it to the next thing.
Okay, so it sounds like what you're telling me is it's very possible for a damn bat to be flying around carrying an Uzi.
Yes, what I am telling you is that I put probably 3 weeks into this game, have not spent a single dime, and the majority of my equipment is purple.
Oh.
Like I said, you're selling me on this game.
Yeah.
It comes with
I tend
price
to...
of free.
Yeah, the big thing about it, the big money spender, or I guess the thing to draw you in the most, is that there are events and they'll end weekly and then start again. And in the game, currently, but I haven't touched in a few days. So don't take my exact word for this. There are 3 costumes, and those are your big character differences. You have the classic costume with the green tank top and the shorts. You have a bomber jacket is what they call it, but it's more of her pilot suit, and then you have her winter jacket. You have to unlock the fire costume and the winter costume by doing these events that they sometimes have, because for this week, enemies will drop these items called stickers, and they're pretty much a currency that you could only get from killing enemies. If you have so many amount of common stickers and rare stickers, you can buy tokens. And once you have enough tokens, you can buy this costume or then start ranking it up. But some of the ranks for these costumes are not just passives, they're account passives. So I currently have the bomber jacket unlocked, and I have not unequipped it because 1, it's a custom costume, and 2, every single run of any chapter you do, you automatically start with burn bullets. It is a fire-based costume. I'm only rank 1 with it because I've only just unlocked it, and it's something like the fire jacket does extra damage with burn. But rank 2 is a full account plus 500 HP or something. So no matter what costume you are wearing, you now have that bonus. And that is across all 3 costumes. They all have account bonuses built into them. It is awesome.
Oh, this sounds interesting. I might have to look it up if I remember. I wouldn't mind another mobile game sometimes.
Yeah. And like I said, it's a roguelike. It's top-down. You actually move the character around and shoot. It has an auto-fire built in. If you've seen the trailers that are currently on YouTube for Mighty Doom, the little chibi Doom game, it's the exact same game.
We talked about that last month.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. It is that, but it's Tomb Raider-based, and therefore I care more.
I'd be in the same boat. And Richard, what is something you've been playing?
Well, aside from my usual bit of games that I play for on my channel, I mean, I just recently for the channel started working on Plague Tale.
How are those?
This is the first time I've ever played it, and it looks very interesting so far. I haven't gotten far in it. I remember one guy had to comment on how accurately the male pig is portrayed.
Ew.
Okay.
Yeah, I really didn't want to linger long on that when I first saw the
Were you talking to Cody Laveau?
No, not Cody.
Hey, you never know.
This is long
When it comes to
before
animal facts
Cody.
that you don't want to know, he's your guy.
The horses in Red Dead Redemption 2 are very accurate.
One of the Tomb Raider episodes, we had a whole conversation about leopards.
I heard that.
Yeah, I try not to crack up at work over how funny that was.
Like an hour.
Yeah, and at the end, when you hear us all react, when you hear him and I react, it's like he shared a picture.
Oh gosh.
Go listen to an episode somewhere. You can go search up Puppy.
But outside, I mean, I'm working my way through the rosters, the fighters of MK10, playing up through the game to get all their endings. It's a lot less stressful than trying to do it well, actually, I wouldn't do it normally. But I'm doing it for the channel, and this just gives me something to add to, showing off, trying find out some of these moves and performing some of these brutalities. It's actually very therapeutic sometimes. I mean, I also been but aside from that, I mean, I'm also venturing into the second Assassin's Creed game, which everybody will probably hear about later on in the year.
Yes, we don't have it for a few months, but yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already enjoying that one. My God, those games are beautiful.
And they just keep getting better and better for a while. So.
And then they stopped making them.
I like the new one.
I haven't played them. So
Yeah.
I can't speak.
But another game I've been working on was for the channel is the Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. I'm now more eager to get through the game. I mean, I've been enjoying just being able to run around Cordona. I think it's Cordona. Solving mysteries, just taking in the atmosphere of the game. It's beautiful. And finding the side mysteries are always fun. I just actually finished one side mystery earlier, which that particular video will probably premiere depending on when this comes out. Well, it'll
About
come.
a little over a week.
Yeah, it'll definitely be out, but that one will premiere Memorial Day. It's already uploaded. It just won't premiere till Memorial Day. I mean, this is a game while you have the option for fast traveling from point to point to point, you don't really want to because you're going to miss stuff, possible cases and everything. And this area is so beautiful. I mean, you got your mystery in it, which is your typical Sherlock Holmes mystery before he becomes our famous consulting detective. You can run across areas which will spawn, basically revive lost memories of Sherlock Holmes. You come across some odd mysteries by, say, running into someone who works for Sherlock's older brother, Mycroft. And sometimes you'll be going along and you hear two people talking. And it's like, wait a minute, what's this? And it opens up another mystery for you, a little side mystery.
And what game is this again?
Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. They just released, like within the past month or so, it officially released the second game in the reboot, which is a remake of the third game that Frogwares made for Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes The Awakening. It's supposed to have some of these same qualities in it.
But with Cthulhu.
Of course.
Hey, that gets me more interested. So,
Well, that's like I said, it's a remake of the original one they did, which they actually had a remaster released when they started releasing. I think they released a remastered version of it with the first and second game in a set when Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper came out.
I think I own that on Steam.
Yeah, those are fun games. I've had although the first one, while it's now free, the first ever Sherlock Holmes game is now free on Steam. I highly advise people to play that with a working mouse controls. I had to fiddle with it a bit just to get it to work, and my mouse was inversed, which is a bitch and a half with some of those puzzles that may have time limits involved. But I've also been indulging in a game on Switch. I've been playing the Lego Harry Potter games on Switch. I got that when I first got the Switch, and I got it for my now teenager.
Those are good games. I've never played the Harry Potter ones, but I really like the Lego games.
I've been enjoying this, and of course, as you find more characters and learn more about the game, it's fun to replay levels with as many characters as you can get. I mean, I think I ran into one with free play, and I had Harry, and I had Hermione, and Hermione is a cat, and Filch.
So I gotta ask, did you have
Bloody
Ron
Baron.
Weasley, Dumbledore, Snape, Severus Snape, Dumbledore?
I heard that forever.
But, for all the people listening, if you've heard it before, all of a sudden it jumped in your head again. You're welcome.
Last I heard it, my teenager was doing it.
I heard that when I was a freaking teenager still, and I am 35 now, so.
Being from Boston, you hear it all the time.
I love that video.
I must admit, I am enjoying it. I guess I can obviously tell it takes more after the movies than the books.
Yeah, all the Lego games are really based on the movies. Like, there's Lego. The last Lego game I played is Lego Lord of the Rings, which I really like. Because there's an achievement for it says one does not simply, and then it says walk into Mordor. Right when you cross the border into Mordor. That's one of my favorite achievements ever.
Yeah, but I mean, this is quite fun. I mean, I enjoy replaying the levels in a free play mode. I only wish that, and unless it comes with, finishing all. Well, right now I'm just doing like the first 4, because when a Switch has I got the collection, the first 4 and then the last 4. And I'm hoping that maybe if I unlock the first 4, get done with those first 4, I can even roam the castle.
I don't know, but I can say they were released back in the day as 2 separate games.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know if the Switch collection or any of the collections combined them as a one game, but is this your first Lego game?
First one I've ever really played. I mean, I tried playing it some time ago, and that was around the same time that I discovered that one Joy-Con was screwing up, so I didn't even touch it again until I got new Joy-Cons. And I do have to remember to get back to Breath of the Wild. I still gotta still kick Ganon's ass.
All right, and since you mentioned Breath of the Wild, Joe, what is something you've been playing?
Before I get into Breath of the Wild, I love to talk about two other things that are much shorter than that. Because you brought it up, Mike, I am now playing Magic the Gathering.
Real one or the digital game?
Yes, the real one. I've been trying to get the digital one so I can learn how to play more. But
my condolences for your wallet.
Me and my husband partner went to the local card shop and we spent $400 dues on Magic the Gathering.
Yep, that's physical card games.
Yep, I bought me. What did he buy? I bought me a commander deck, which is all it has. Its themed. It's a pre-built deck. I also got me a mat, some card protectors because you have to have those. I bought a deck holder. We bought this big box, which I'll probably end up buying him like 2 of them, probably my next paycheck, because he needs more places to store his fucking cards. And then we bought the draft box and we played with some friends. He went last night. That was last week. And then last night he went to go play with his friends again. And the new themes are pretty cool. The previous one, which was not last, but 2 decks ago, they were like robot humanoid themed. They look like the bad guys from Hellraiser. They're like robot.
The Cenobites?
Yeah, they look like Cenobites.
God, Phyrexians do look like that.
Yeah. And then
Phyrexians again?
Yeah, it's Phyrexians.
Ooh, that's cool. The last time I played was during the Phyrexian invasion back in like the early 2000s.
Yeah, they're back. Their cards are pretty cool, but it's already too late for them because I believe the last theme was March of the Machines, which we got a box for that. And then last night, the new theme, which is After the Machines Have Fallen. I believe that one came out last night. We're going to go get it probably next weekend because they're already, sold out. And then the other game I've been playing here with him up until Zelda came out, because I need someone to distract myself before Zelda, was a game called Void Train, which is a very nice game where you steal a train that jumps dimensions away from Nazis. It's one of those survival games where you're still connected to the train and it's out in the middle of a void.
Ooh, what is this called?
Void Train.
And what is this on PC?
It's on PC.
Because you had my attention. You should get it Nazis. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, do you know what Raft is?
I've heard of Raft.
Yeah, where you're like stuck on a raft and you really can't like get away from it, but like everything revolves around the raft. It's like that, but a train. And you're kind of like in the World War II era, and you find Nazis like on this train, and whenever you jump on it and start the train, you realize that it goes through different portals, and basically the Nazis have found like what is it? The Norse mythology, like Celtic ruins to make the train jump. So you're like on a permanent set of
Did they find the Tesseract?
Probably. But you go out and you collect items and you use like scrap metal to make iron, and you make iron to make a forge, and then eventually you go from your train being hand pumped to it being a full steam engine and stuff like that. It's really fun. Very nice game to play, relaxing, nothing really at stake kind of game.
You got my attention 100%. I'm going to look this up, but I can't find it right now. But when I have better internet, I'm going to find it.
I'll send you a link later.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's on Steam.
But I don't want to talk about Zelda unless anybody else has anything else they want to talk about.
I mean, after hearing you mention Magic, God, I remember when that game came out. I was in college. I think it was my sophomore year of college that came out.
Yeah, man, Magic's great. I'm slowly learning how to play it because my partner's been playing it for years and years. So
it's a really good game. It's just the money part is what drove me out. Well, I was young. I was a kid, and then I moved and I lost a lot of my cards, I think. I mean, I think I still might have a binder in my parents' house, all my rares. And I think my Rofellos still might be there, which is a really old card.
You should probably check that. That's probably worth a bunch of money now.
If they're in good shape.
I tried playing it for a short time, but just couldn't really get into the card playing part. But I'll tell you one thing, all the books
are great.
Books are great. I think I got, though, unfortunately, as far as the Brothers War in the books, or the Planeswalker Saga or something like that. And I got so far behind in my reading. I mean, you got like 20 books coming out at a time. And I think it was one day when I was with my wife. We were just dating at the time, I think. We were coming down from my cousin's wedding. We stopped by a mall near where she went to college. And I went in the bookstore there, and I saw the most recent Magic the Gathering book released, and I opened it up, and I'm like, ah, damn, the font got smaller. And right then and there, I basically swore off all the Magic books, because I didn't necessarily want to ruin my eyes trying to read the books.
Let's do the Twilight Zone episode. He's like, I got all these books, and I broke it all the time, and I broke my glasses. That's what you made me think of, Richard. No, I get that. I read a couple books because I was really obsessed with the Weatherlight crew in Magic, and I mean, some people might know what I'm talking about. That's a very old time ago, but I really like those characters. So I ended up reading like the Nemesis book and stuff about. I barely even remember them. It's been so fucking long.
Yeah, well, I think there was like 2 eras of Magic the Gathering books. The first was a little bit more original, and then you had all the books that basically were covering the lore of the series. And I read all the, quote, original stuff. But then when it started getting into more of the lore of the series, and I was just, trying to work my way through it amongst other books and that I had in my library. But it was good reading.
I didn't know Magic had books or lore, so
There's so many books.
So much, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of lore.
My roommate tried to get me into Magic the Gathering, so I have a few decks, and I've read the Planeswalker trilogy. Or I've read Agents of Artifice and Purifying Fire, which are both very good, but I got about halfway through Test of Metal.
I was really into it when I was younger, but now I'm just, card games are just, because I have an addictive thing with card games, as Marvel Snap taught me, to the point where I never, I was like, I really want to spend $10 on this game to get this mystery variant that will probably be garbage I won't use, but then I get 500 gold and 500 tokens. I'm like, stop it, Mike, stop it. So no,
for the past year, I've been buying a box every time a new set for Digimon comes out. And like the last 4 boxes I haven't even opened. They're just collector items at this point because I love Digimon and I want to support it.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Digimon needs all the support you can get. I've also heard Digimon's kind of not pointless, but it's a lot harder. You have to buy theme decks and then build around it. Because I have some friends, they're real good friends, that they were getting Digimon, but they stopped because they tried doing like a draft box, and the draft box did not have like any way to build a deck out of that.
There's a set, and it's pretty much you will make 2 decks out of this set, or you will not be making a deck at all. And one of them is a Digireaper deck.
Okay.
Digireaper is so terrifying.
Hey, Joe, I'm going to put in, for all of you, you could check this out. It's the Wikipedia article. All the Magic the Gathering novels that were released.
Oh, yeah, I just had to open on my phone to remember some of the names. It's so much. I want to read that War of the Spark book, though, because Nicobolas is awesome.
War of the Spark. Oh, that's
the big event that happened a couple of years ago. That was pretty much
2019. I see it. 2 books.
Yeah, it was a big checkpoint in Magic the Gathering lore.
I mean, like I said, I had all the non-cycle books, and I really loved Whispering Woods, Shattered Chains, Final Sacrifice. That trilogy was great. And I have to say this: he had a good idea in there by tying that trilogy into the other non-cycle book that was out, Arena. So, but yeah, that series is definitely deep in lore.
We just had a big event in Smite. So there are now 10 character skins for Magic the Gathering in Smite.
I tried Smite once, but I didn't want to get into it.
It's the god-based MOBA.
Yeah, okay. It's god-based League of Legends. My husband really got into it. It's not bad. I like it more than League because they actually use actual gods, and they go everything from Greek to Roman to even like smaller ones from other
Polynesian.
Yeah,
that's cool.
They've got Arthurian, Babylonian, Celtic, Chinese.
We have great old ones because people kept bitching for Cthulhu.
Yeah,
we have Klingon gods.
Not yet, but there might be a crossover. This next patch is going to be an event for VTubers, so Iron Mouse and Yanners are now officially skins for Smite.
Shit, I might have to get back into Smite.
Yeah, I can read them all off real quick, if that's okay. All the skins that came out. Jace Beleren is the Jade Emperor. We have Chandra as Pele, which is an extremely good choice. Liliana as Nuwa. Atraxa the Phyrexian as Thanatos. Karn as Atlas. And then the other chapter is Nicobolas for Tiamat, Vivian for Artemis, Teferi for Kronos, Nisa for Iset or Isis, and the Wandering Emperor for Mulan.
I have
Cool.
to admit, when I saw they created characters for Scylla and Charybdis, I had to give them credit because, well, the latter doesn't necessarily see enough when it comes to media representation.
Yeah, still has such a good mage. Charybdis could be better, but
I know.
there are people who can play her terrifyingly well.
Oh yeah, I would not doubt that.
What was the last god they added? Because off the top of my head, the last one I know they added I thought was pretty cool is they added Maui, the god that's in the Disney movie Moana.
Yep.
They added him.
We are currently in the season that they're calling the season of monsters. So we have Manticoris, the king of the Manticores, who's a hunter, and we have Surtur, who is a warrior. But you can build him as an assassin, and he is amazing.
Cool.
I see that Ixchel came out April
Oh yeah,
18th.
it still just came out.
And let's see, the Lightweaver from Mayan.
Roommate was just like, who the fuck is Ixchel? And I'm like, one of the major components of Shadow of the Tomb Raider. They just look at me and go, what the fuck is Ixchel?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yes, that was
You awoken a core
one
memory.
object, I think, that was hers.
Thank you. That was a good game, man.
Hopefully the season, they're potentially hinting with the season trailer that we're going to get a new voodoo god. We only have Baron Samedi right now. I'm really hoping for Papa Legba.
Why is it when you say Baron Samedi, I think you said Samedi, it made me think of 007 right away, Live or Let Die.
Because they used the character name.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good, probably very racist movie, unfortunately, now if I go back and watch it, but good film when I watch it back then.
A lot of those James Bond movies are. A lot of those older movies are.
Yeah, I mean, I already know it's sexist as hell, but
It
I'm
was
sure
a
it's
sign
racist.
of the times, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good movie. All right, anything else, anything game-wise you guys want to mention before we go on to our main topic for Joe?
Let's go to Joe's main topic.
So, is everyone at least, I know you said something earlier, Richard, Mike and Phoebe, you're both familiar with the basis of Breath of the Wild.
Haven't played it, but I've seen enough of it.
Yeah.
Played a little bit of Age of Calamity.
I need to play Age of Calamity, too.
I do, too.
Because
The original Hyrule Warriors is much better.
yeah, but
I gotta put it on the show.
it's story-wise. It's because it's story-wise that I need to play it. But Tears of the Kingdom, I've gotten past what is essentially the same thing as the first one. I got past Tutorial Island, and I played a little bit of the opening where they still kind of give you a hand-holding. I basically got to the part where they're like, okay, go look out, go to the 4 villages again and look at that. But man, there's a lot of things they've added and taken away and stuff that they no longer there that I'm kind of okay with, but kind of bummed out. I'm not going to go into story spoilers because Richard's still on, Breath of the Wild, all that. Plus, it starts off opening like there's not even a menu select. It's one of the things I love when they do with games where you turn the game on and it just straight starts lets you playing the game. But due to, as you've seen in the trailers, Ganon is back and he rises stuff from the surface and there's a whole gloom going on that's infectious. The map is now 3 times the size of it was originally.
Holy shit.
Because now you have the ground floor, you have the sky above you, and there is the under area. The sky above you, you have so let's start off with the 4 new abilities. You have the Ultra Hand where you can pick stuff up and fuse things together. You can that's basically the weird vehicle building mechanic they have. You can make items that fly, things that float. Basically getting rid of the need for horses once you figure out how to. I believe there's another ability you can where you can store contraptions, and as long as they're in your general area, you can make them. So like the easiest one would be a piece of plank with 4 wheels and like a motor on the back, so you can fly forward. There is the dive, where as long as something's above you, you can go through it and swim upwards, I guess would be the term for it, which is a lot of puzzle mechanics that way and easier getting around. There's the weapon fusion, which solves one of the issues I had with the original Breath of the Wild, but take it away, because part of the whole story mechanic is that now that the underground's open, there's a gloom going across the ground. And so instead of having you find like 3 different weapons, basically all the weapons are all rusted. So the only thing that's around now are rusted spears, rusted swords, and things like that. And so you have enemies who drop items now, and that's how you make those primo weapons. So I think like I beat like one of those big macablins, the big tall ones, and I got his horn, and I fused that with a rusted sword, and it made like a blue glowy weapon, and it was like the macablin horn sword. And it went from like the rusted sword that had like maybe 2 attack to where this thing has 6. So that's how they get around with like having to find all these different weapons, not being sure on what you like. I saw someone playing earlier where you can get a stick and then you can combine it with an opal and it makes it into a water wand.
Man, I gotta get back to Breath of the Wild then, so I can at least get that done, so I can then get to this one.
One day, I want to play them.
Fusions.
I had a very bad time with Breath of the Wild when I did it. God, when it came out, and I haven't gone back yet.
Breath of the Wild holds a very special place in my heart because I was actually in like a really bad sinkhole. I was getting to where I couldn't play games because I couldn't find anything I really liked. And I played Breath of the Wild, and it got me out of that because it was everything I've ever wanted in a video game. Now Tears of the Kingdom is that plus more. But all around that first tutorial, I got home with the game at 11. I got lucky, and there was a poll going on. I got third in line. I got home, put the game on, and I was like, I'll beat the tutorial island. Same thing like in the first game where it gives you your 4 abilities and kind of teaches you how to use it and teaches you about the area. And so I was like, all right, I'll beat this and go to bed. I finished it at 4 in the morning.
The speed run's already 98 minutes.
Yeah, I told the speed run's 98 minutes, but I'm here for a good time and a long time, not for a short time.
Speedruns are a special kind of beast, like speedruns of Breath of the Wild, where they just get a rock and like fly all the way to Ganon's castle. Yeah. So.
Oh, and they've redone all that stuff too. Like I know one of the speedrun strats was to whistle and run, and it completely nulls out you using stamina. They decide to fix that to where if you try that now, it completely depletes your stamina fully.
That's funny.
Aye.
Some of the fusions that people have already been making
Like
really
the big robot?
are selling me on this game. Yeah, the
Like-
big robot with the flamethrower penis is
I
definitely
was like, yep, of course that
but-
happened. I mean, the internet.
But the idea of attaching a bomb flower to your shield and then going to shield sir, so the bomb goes off and it's a rocket jump pretty much.
Oh yeah.
That's
the
clever.
minecart shield. That's awesome.
I was gonna say I saw the minecart show one last night. That one was really cool too.
It looks. I mean, this game looks cool. Like I was thinking about, like, I can pick this up. I'm like, no, stop it. Like, you got too many things to do.
No, it's not the first time somebody's found a way to merge weapons in Zelda.
If you want a way to save money, Mike, because I don't know if you're a big game saver, GameStop which is what I did because I beat games. I don't really see myself as a big collector. They have a whole list of games you can trade in. And it's a pretty good chunk. I think it's like 100 games. And if you trade them in, you'll get $50 off Tears of the Kingdom.
I don't have anything they probably want.
Do you? No, that's not true. You have Metroid Dread.
I don't want to trade anything I have. How about that?
Yeah. So if it's like that, then yeah, don't worry about it. Or there's the.
It's not bad. It's just. Well, it's
Yeah.
mainly a big reason. If I bought the second Zelda game, I bought Breath of the Wild the day it came out, and I've never finished it. And my wife likes to remind me how I paid full price for that game and never played it really. So if I bought the second one, I would gear.
You bought it when it first came out, and when it first came out, it was only on Wii U.
Yeah, I have it I have the Wii U version.
Oh, what the fuck?
And I played it a little bit. I got off the plateau. I was heading towards the first Divine Beast. This is before there's a lot of internet stuff, and anyone knows me. Like, I like to cheat. I like to look up things, and there wasn't anything to look up, and I was just confused and irritated. And I turned the game off and never went back yet. I had talked a lot of shit about it for 5 years.
I'll admit I was a little bit the same way when I first played it, but and at that time I didn't like the open world concept. And then then you had me play the Tomb Raider Survivor timeline, and I love the open world setup now, and I'm having more enjoyment out of it.
Games are great.
And wait till you play more Assassin's Creed, then you'll really get an open world. Look at all these Jesus everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already surprised. This second Assassin's Creed, and like less than an hour into the game, and Ezio's getting lucky.
You ain't
don't
seen
worry.
nothing yet.
You'll get to Assassin's Creed 3, and none of the viewpoints will mean anything. You'll still have to walk around to fill out your map. We don't talk about 3.
I don't like 3.
I'm not a fan of 3 either.
I haven't played 3 in a
you're
long
really
time.
giving me a negative feel on that 3 one.
Hey, 3 will be a great episode when we finally cover it, because when I do it, I also have a guy who's a U.S. history teacher who's on the show quite often. So it'll be perfect.
Yes.
We can talk about what it gets right and what it gets wrong.
Listen, you just play 1, the Ezio trilogy, 4, Rogue, Syndicate, and then you stop.
No,
I didn't like Syndicate either.
You play even the handheld ones. You play everything you get your hands on because you're.
Mike.
That's the goal.
I've already told you, Mike. I'm sticking to the main series. I won't do the handheld
You're fine.
ones.
Don't do the mobile. The mobile's a fucking piece of shit.
I'm doing the DS and the PSP games. So. Both DS games, the PSP games. Yeah. I just do everything I can. You know
And
me.
I know somebody told me not to go for the feathers.
Don't bother. You actually get something for it, but it's not like it's important.
I'm doing it mainly because one, I'm gonna try and get the full experience for the show. Two, I understand why he's doing the feathers.
Oh,
Completely understand why he's doing the feathers.
ignoring the feathers part, though, I will tell you, Richard, since you are playing it now, if anything, I do recommend getting all the map pieces whenever you find them, because there's a map that you at your main castle thing, and you have to have that map fully filled out to beat the game.
Yeah.
You mean like for that model?
What do you mean?
I can't remember any
There
of
is.
Assassin's Creed 2.
I've already gotten to the villa.
Yeah,
There is a model of the area the villa's in the house. Or is there something?
I think that's what he's talking about.
There's like a room where I think your uncle takes you into, and it's supposed to be a map where like the ultimate assassin armor is hidden, and you have to fill out that map. Like you have to get that armor before you beat the game, and if you don't have it at a certain point, the game will tell you that it's stopping itself, and you have to go look for those pieces of the map.
It is a jigsaw puzzle to get to the ending.
Yeah, and you it helps out to get that armor early as possible anyways, because you have like full health, I think. But also it's less of a pain in the ass in the long run.
Okay.
Hey, I'll go for it.
Brother,
I already got all
remember-
of those statues.
Nothing's too bad in 2, other than the feathers. Nothing's too bad. Does 2 have like the random like symbols you got to find on the building too, or is that Brotherhood
Yes.
later? Okay.
I actually like that.
2 or Brotherhood does it. And Brotherhood is a lot better with the collectibles, just because Brotherhood's the first game in the series, if memory serves, where you can actually buy the maps from the stores that just tell you where they are.
I can get I found that art shops have, besides having paintings, which I purchased one of the paintings already. And as I was thinking about it yesterday, the painting I got, I thought of the show, the British show, Hello, Hello. Because I always remember that in some of the episodes, the main character, Renee, had to make copies of the Fallen Madonna with the big boobies.
Okay.
He has to make a copy of it for the German soldiers so they can keep the actual copy and give the copy to the Fuhrer.
Oh my god.
The Gestapo man wants them to make a copy of it so that he can tape it from the soldiers and keep it for himself. And the French resistance wants him to make a copy so that they can take the original and give it back to the, make sure it doesn't leave France.
This sounds like a plot point for an episode if Heil Hitler or Heil Honey, I'm Home actually got to be a show. Which, if you've never heard of that, look up the pilot on YouTube.
I know of it because it is still ranked one of the worst television show ideas.
Oh, it was something.
I mean, LOLO is set in World War II occupied France. So that's taking place during the war. And of course, you have an innkeeper who is helping the resistance, who is also having an affair with apparently 2 of the people at the 2 of the ladies that work there.
Sacre bleu.
And of course, you have the nicely incompetent German soldiers who, yes, we are Germans, but we also admit that if something goes wrong, we want to have something to fall back on. I mean, the one guy gets spirited off to England when they all get stuck in a German POW camp. I mean, it'd be very shameful for a German officer to be stuck as a British prisoner in a German POW camp.
Yes, it would.
And the French resistance is like, listen to me very carefully. I will say this once and only once. And Renee's like, and she means it too. And then now they have to get them out of there. And they do a roll call. So they're all disguised as British airmen. And then walk up to the one guy who, when they have to do their salute, they do their salute, he goes, "Clop." He's the one. And it's like, you don't look like a British airman to me. So he starts going, Hitler has only got one ball.
Oh
and
God. That's the second time this week I've heard that song. Thank you.
You had 2 nickels. Okay, I do have a question for Phoebe and Joe. Because I do kind of want to play the Age of Calamity. Do I need to play Breath of Wild first, or can I just play Age of Calamity?
You can just go straight to Age of Calamity because it's a prequel.
Okay,
Some
that's what I
time travel
thought.
Elements.
My wife bought it for me for Christmas, and I probably won't get to it this year. But I really want to play it, so I might have to do it next year.
Just note that, unlike Hyrule Warriors, which has the amazing adventure mode and the little challenge modes and everything, it is just the story.
That's all I want. I don't like a lot of extra game modes because I have a podcast where I have to play games every week and I can't stop. And 2, more importantly for me, I don't like a lot of extra stuff in my games. I want to just play a story, beat it, move on. So I'm okay with that.
Joe, I have a question for you. Is there a limit to how much you can fuse in Tears of the Kingdom? Like one object to another? Or is this going to become a Minecraft type thing where somebody's going to build a computer?
No. This is limited. You can only fuse like 2 weapons. Like for instance, you can only fuse 2 weapons together. So like earlier, and it also matters as well because I fused a torch to a spear, and it just became a really long spear, as opposed to fusing the spear to a sword, where now it's still a spear, but it has a sword head. But you can't like fuse a spear to a sword and then fuse that to like a fire object and then fuse that to a shield.
Okay.
Can you fuse a bomb to an arrow, or do they already have bomb arrows?
Yeah.
So here's the interesting part. There are no more multiple arrows. All you have now are arrows, and you can fuse items to the arrows. One of the cool things for people who are like me, because I can't fucking aim, is now they have you can fuse the bat eyeballs to arrows and they become homing arrows.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, you fuse fire plants to arrows to make them fire arrows, and just all kinds of. But the only issue that I've had with it, which I do think is annoying, is you have to do that for every arrow. So basically what you do is you aim the bow to pull the arrow back, and then you open a menu to fuse an item to that. You have to continuously do that if you want to continuously fire arrows.
So you can't just mass create 20 fire arrows. You have to individually each time do it.
Yeah, that's like the only issue I've had with the game so far.
That will be patched out. That has to be something they're looking at.
Yeah, I'm sure they
what do you mean? That's how we had to do it in Link's Awakening. Arrow bomb. Boom, 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 boom.
Bullshit. You took up 2 slots. You put bomb on B and you put the arrow on A.
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom.
Such a good game, though.
I am sad that they got rid of the detonatable bombs that you used to have in Breath of the Wild. Now it's just you have bomb plants lying around. That's how you make bomb arrows.
That's fine, though. They had to do something different. I mean, they didn't want the game to feel like a copy as much as it already kind of sounds like it's kind of a copy. Well, I mean, it sounds much more, but the fact that they're, using the same style.
I have to admit that some of those shrines where you had to bomb A, bomb B, but you can't have bomb A close to bomb B because if you have to blow up B and then A is too close, bomb A will go blow up. And if you need to do them separately, then you must make sure they're not too close to one another.
Yeah, I definitely I miss being excited for Zelda, but I did get excited today because the amiibo came in the mail today that I ordered because I have almost all the Zelda amiibos, but they're all open because I'm a fiend. But yeah, I ordered the Breath of the Wild one right away. I was like, I might never see this again, so let's order it.
Oh, they've proven all that stuff is a scam. I think pop figurines and amiibos, they don't drop in value if they're out of the package.
As a guy who collects Funko Pops, that is completely false. So,
well, Funko said that they shouldn't be allowed to drop in value if they're taken out of the box.
Yeah, but the world that buys them disagrees.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I can get an out of box Funko Pop. Like I have the Arkham Knight. I paid $5 for it, and if it would have been in box, it wouldn't have been $5. So.
Technically, I only have one Funko Pop myself.
I wish I could say that. I can't. I cannot say that.
Although the Funko Pops that were my late wife's now belong to my teenager.
I fell in love with Funko Pops, so I have over hundreds of them.
Well, I'll admit the first one I got my wife was Captain Hook from Once Upon a Time.
Oh wow.
Some of those are worth money now if you have older ones, because I have a few signed actually, because that's what I Like one of my prized possessions now is I have a Boba Fett Funko Pop signed by the two actors from Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Signed it. I play Boba Fett. And when I want to meet Tamora Morrison someday and the kid and have them both sign it too, so I have all 4 signatures on one Funko Pop.
That'd be awesome.
So it looks really cool. I'm really happy with it.
I know next month my teenager and I are going down to Too Many Games. It's a convention. I know that they have it in Philadelphia.
They have in Wisconsin too, my old city, Milwaukee.
Cam Clark is supposed to be there.
Oh.
I know you'd probably like to meet him because he's Leonardo.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why the name sounds like that name sounds really familiar.
Well, I'm going to take down one of my strategy guides for him to sign.
No, it's a fun experience meeting, people. Like I'm going to Boston later this year. The main reason why we're planning this trip and spending a lot of money is to go meet Freddy Krueger for the only time, because my wife just loves Nightmare on Elm Street, and it's like this guy ain't getting any younger, and he never comes here.
Now I'm really angry.
So you're meeting meeting Robert Englund.
Yep, we're meeting Robert Englund, and then we're gonna go run around Boston and go to Salem and do other stuff. But it's like the main reason we're taking this trip is to go meet him, and I'm like, my wife has a poster that she's been getting signed by different actors, and she's got the guy that did the voice of Ghostface in the Scream movies. She's got Hellraiser, what else? She has no Jasons yet. 2 Michael Myers, Texas Chainsaw. Like she's just going around and getting different actors to sign it, and it's like that's like her crowning jewel that she wants is to have Robert Englund sign it.
Well, this sucks. I was supposed to move back home like a month or 2 ago, and now it's got to be pushed back another year. I would have bought you food.
Oh, was it Boston?
Yeah.
Oh, I would have met you for sure then.
Mike, you need him to record Freddy Krueger going "Welcome to Games My Mom Found," and it's Spooktober bit. That'd be the best opening.
You know how much that would cost me?
You just have him do it while he's signing shit. Be like $5.
So you'd be surprised. I think they usually do a video like that for $30 bones. It's not that expensive. Hell,
I know it. Well, they're going to have Charles. What's his name now?
Charles Martinet?
That's it.
He's really nice, by the way. I met him once. I'll never meet him again, because once was enough. But really nice guy. He doesn't say much. He just goes, yippee, and says all the Mario stuff. But I bought a really cool poster that he wrote my name on and signed a whole bunch and writes just fun stuff.
Unfortunately, he's going to he'd be a costly one to meet. It's like $60 just for...
I spent more than that.
Yeah, we're not going to be spending that much. I mean, I want Cam Clark's signature. I definitely want that. And I think they have the one woman who voices Zelda. But I'm going to have Cam Clark sign one of my Eternal Darkness books.
Oh, that's cool. You should, because it means a lot to you. You definitely should. I mean, there's something special about meeting these people. And just I met Jonathan Frakes once, and he's actually coming back in June. I might go meet him again.
Yeah, he's a Bethlehem boy, I believe.
He's an awesome. I mean, and it's funny when I met him, he's just like Will Riker. I'm like, yeah, this is not that far off, probably from the character.
I mean, last time we were there, my teenager got autographs from Vizzy Pop.
Oh, cool!
And a couple others. We both got an autograph from Richard Horvitz.
Oh, that would have been fucking awesome. And Zim?
My teenager got a Moxie picture with his autograph on it.
Aw.
Because they like Has Been Hotel and
Hell of a Boss.
Hell of a Boss, yep. Yeah, that was they even showed him a picture they drew as we drove down to the convention. They drew it in the car.
Oh, wow, that's talented.
Yeah, he was impressed. Yeah, so their autograph is like, a human called me a possum. I am not a possum.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember him from a bunch of stuff. I actually surprised him because there was one, I used to watch Head of the Class when it was on ABC years and years ago. And I always remembered this one character. I could not remember the name of the episode or the name of the character, but he described himself as how he described his character to the others. You remember that alien that did covering his face with his hand? Yeah, I'm like that alien. And when I brought that up to Horowitz, he's like, we were just talking about that the other day. He remembered the name of the character and everything. And it sort of impressed him by remembering that.
I don't think voice actors ever forget what roles they do, and it's really weird.
If you ever meet Phil Lamar, I met Phil Lamar and I brought up House Flame Metal Gear Solid 4, and he did the vamp voice and said something. I'm pretty sure from the game. I didn't remember, so I just went, "Oh, that's awesome." I had no idea, but also super cool guy.
Yeah, but I also got a picture of him of Daggett. And he was like, as he's writing it out, it's like he's getting into the character. He's like, who do I sign this to? I was like, Richard. That's my name. But I also met Daniel Pacina. God damn it, I'm pulling a blank on how you pronounce his name.
That's fine. We can come back when you remember.
He was John, the original Pacina, yeah. The original Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Reptile, Johnny Cage.
Oh, cool.
Actually, a fan took the picture that was in for his friendship in the game.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he got digitized. A fan did that, and he gives them out as autographs. We even have a picture with him. So I'll share that. I'll put that in the chat so you guys could see that.
You should put it on the Discord, too, for people after they hear this.
I'll do that then.
You can go on your Discord to see a link in the show notes.
See, like, I've met all these people and, like, Stephen King or Matthew Mercer and shit, but everybody I either have pictures with, or for Kevin Eastman, there's a video on YouTube with him, but they're
cool.
I don't look at any of those anymore because they're pre-HRT.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I get that.
Hormone replacement treatment.
Ah, okay. There we go. I just put them in chat there.
No, I completely get that. I mean, that's a different time. So.
A different me?
Yeah, pretty. I don't know how to say it politically correct or correct.
Someone out there edits those photos for you. You can find them.
Oh, God. I could probably get that. Because Jill Thompson and Kevin Eastman were awesome.
I would meet him if I got the chance, I'm sure, too.
Okay, I'm sad. I met the Green Ranger before he passed. Yeah, and I'm really fat in that photo, and I hate that photo.
I know what but hey, you got to meet him though. I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah, and I still have. Yeah. I need to shrink wrap the toy I had him sign. And
yes, you do.
And that's why I brought that up too, because you said like, oh, I can't have what is it?
Funko Pops?
Freddy Krueger. No, who played Freddy?
Oh, Robert Englund.
Yeah, you can have Robert Englund do that. Like I remember when I went, and whenever you meet celebrities, there's time if you mention something, even if you guys can record, I'm sure he'll be like, you can listen to it and see if it sounds good. And if not, he'll probably redo it for free if he wanted to. But like they're usually really nice people. So
we'll see how it goes. It could happen because I know I'm going to be dropping. We're doing the photo we're doing the photo thing, and we're doing the signature. My wife already told me, so I'm like, oh, okay. That goes like $300.
Actually, there's only one star there's certain stars I wouldn't mind getting an autograph from, but there's one I definitely would love to get an autograph from, and that's Andrew J. Robinson.
How do I know that name?
It sounds familiar.
Mike should know the name.
Should, but Mike does not.
Why? He's done. Oh, I understand. He can be forgettable. He's just a plain, simple tailor.
It is not clicking.
Derek, you fool!
Oh, Deep Space Nine. All right.
Oh!
Oh, that reminds me, last thing on this topic, because I want to move on. I was going to meet Jeffrey Coombe. I had the opportunity. I was like, okay, he's coming to but the same convention he's coming to, I'm going to be in Boston during that week.
Oh, damn it.
It was either meet Robert Englund or meet Jeffrey Combs, and it means more to my wife to meet Robert Englund, but I would have met Jeffrey Combs in a heartbeat.
But Reanimator!
Unfortunately, seen that movie. I ain't covered it. Go look that episode up, Sarah. I hate that movie. You can hear me bitch for 2 hours. But
the best Ratchet from the best Transformers series.
I want to see him because he plays that character in Deep Space Nine. Wayland?
Oh, not Wayland.
Wayoon. He plays Runt. He plays a lot of people. He plays a lot of yes.
He plays a bunch of different aliens. You can't tell it's him, but I hear that voice. I'm like, yep, that's him.
Lower Deck.
Who does he play?
In Lower Deck?
I haven't watched Lower
Deck. Rogue AI computer.
Okay.
It's such a good show.
Oh, and I want to go on to TV movies, but before we go there, I got one comic thing to mention real quick that I've been reading. I started reading I think it's a 2015 Star Wars run, which takes place between Episode 4 and Episode 5, which is all canon right now. That's really good. I'm about 20 issues in. I'm starting to reread that. I'm really having a good time with that. Highly recommend that.
And now Lucas and Disney will hear this and say, we need to fix that.
Well, they wouldn't appreciate the way I'm reading it either. So, but yes, it's really good.
I mean, they just made Shadows of the Empire semi-canon again with Survivor.
Really?
Oh, okay, don't talk please anymore. I don't want to know anymore.
Okay.
But you made me happy because Shadow of the Empire is mwah. You can go listen to our game episode and comic episode about those. But yeah, I love Shadow of the Empire. All right, and for TV, I have, let's see, I don't think I have any TV shows. All I've been watching is RuPaul, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, I don't really. Well, I shouldn't say I'm not really watching. My wife watches it, and I'll be around with her when she has it on.
Yeah, I was looking through Netflix today, and I finally decided I'm going to take a little time. I'm going to watch something on Netflix. So I started watching Wednesday.
Oh.
Not bad.
It's a good show. I need.
Oh yeah, I'm. Let us take note that here that Mike is praising something Tim Burton directed.
I know. I've seen 3 or 4 episodes of it. My wife was watching it, but I liked it what I saw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I
mean,
know. I'm not a fan of Tim Burton.
Man, Mike. So you're saying you're not
Really?
excited? You're not excited for Tim Burton coming back and making Beetlejuice 2, and the girl that plays Wednesday Addams is going to be playing the daughter of the girl in Beetlejuice?
Yes.
No, I am excited for Michael Keaton to say, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts." In a current movie, but that's about it. No,
I'm really excited for that Flash movie.
I really hope Ezra Miller's just not in it, but yeah, I'm excited for it too.
It's fine. Like I said, I forgot what I mentioned earlier, but I still have a theory that like once that movie comes out, they're going to be like, nope, we've cut all ties with Ezra Miller.
Oh, once that movie, like, if you think about it, like, they said that how everyone could come back but Henry Cavill. If you notice, Henry Cavill was the only one that didn't have a current movie coming up, where Wonder Woman is in Flash, and I know that because I have her Funko Pop, and Michael, Ben Affleck's in that movie, so they couldn't say, yeah, they're all done because they had a current project coming, so they kept their mouths shut. But none of them are coming back. They're all gone. Completely reset. He'll be gone too.
Yeah, that's one thing. The movies are starting to really reflect the comics now with every frickin' multiverse out there. I think I was also reading today. I saw something on YouTube, and I looked into Lucifer, and apparently the Lucifer series is part of the Arrowverse.
Yep. Yeah. It's its own separate Earth. It is Earth 666.
Man, I was so into that Arrowverse at one time, and did I fall off that.
Look, Lucifer is its own series. It only attaches to something the one time, and Lucifer is a very, very good show.
I just don't have time for a lot of TV lately. Like, I'm watching Mandalorian season 3 again, but that for the podcast also. But I'm trying to rewatch that.
I finally started.
That doesn't surprise me.
I mean, Star Wars. This is my year of Star Wars.
I finally started The Mandalorian. That show is really fucking good.
It is really good. It takes some turns, but it's a very good show.
It has hit or misses.
Don't get used to Cara Dune too much, because she disappears after season 2, because she turned out to be an idiot.
Did you see what they did to her character?
Just in season 3, there's a comment that say, yeah, she left.
No, worse. So they asked where she goes, and I'm not going to spoil for who it is, but they're like, oh, she went to go take some bad guy to jail. And whenever they go, they find out that something happened to the ship. They fly out to the ship, and you see Cara Dune's arm sticking out in the rubble in space. So they confirm that she's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Thank you. I can bring it up when I record later this week.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's
she deserves it. I mean, I do care what your political beliefs are, but whoever you are, if you're a famous person, don't go on the fucking internet and start spouting out hate and bullshit. Just keep your mouth closed. Like, I spout out a lot of crap on this podcast, not hate, because I'm not in that. But, like, if I was famous, which I am not, I would keep my mouth shut. I'm already careful what I say, and I'm not famous at all. I won't be saying, I try not to say dumb shit on the internet. Like, come on, people. Like, you're famous. You can't be making tweets saying, like, oh, this is fake. Oh, like, you can't do that. you get what you deserve. All right, Joe, any shows you're watching you want to mention?
Well, I guess it's that time now. It's Joe's Anime Corner. Corner where I talk about the shows from Japan. I've got 3 shows. One I haven't watched because I have not had time to watch the first episode, so I'll go with that. It's, what the hell is this fucking show called? Oshi no Ko. There is a list of animes where there's a top anime list. This anime, with the first episode alone, basically beat whatever was there currently. So it was the #1 anime all across the world for I think a month. And it's about an idol, and she has a pair of twins, and it has something to do with they have stars in their eyes, and it has to do with them becoming their full potential. And so the twins end up growing up and the boy ends up becoming a detective, but he's not a detective. He's just solving crimes. and the daughter is like a Japanese idol, but that also goes into the whole like, oh, like how fucked up the idol world is in Japan, because like, you know, you can't have a boyfriend and you have to do a bunch of seedy shit to get to the top. Most weird fucked up shit in Hollywood or being famous, kind of stuff like that. I heard the show is really good, but I haven't watched it. The second one, which I have watched, is Hell's Paradise. That one is completely absurd and up its own ass. The main character is a ninja in Japan, and he's been captured and put on death row, and he can't be killed. There's like the first half of the first episode is them trying to kill him. They have this whole thing where it's like, oh, well, you know, in Japan, it's feudal Japan. In feudal Japan, if you try to cut someone's head off, if you don't do it right, it could take anywhere between 2 and 7 whacks. They cannot cut his head off. He's like hypertensing the muscles in his neck to keep them from they're like, this is the 5th blade I've broken so far. It's a really dark show. The whole concept is that the shogun of Japan, a part of Japan currently, wants like an elixir of life. And like, they're like, well, why can't he send his own men towards it? And there's a scene where they're like, all right, guys, see you later. Let us know when you come back from the island. And then like a month later, they see the same boat come back and it's just full of body parts. But there's like flowers growing from the body parts. So it's all kinds of weird, fucked up area. And so the whole plot point is there's like 6 main characters and their handlers who are all people that use katanas. And they're like, all right, you're all on death row. If you can go to the island and find the elixir of life for the shogun, you get a full free pardon. You don't have to, you're no longer on death row. You can go amongst your way and be on with it. And that's the premise for that show.
Okay.
And
I don't watch any anime anymore, unfortunately.
And the other one is Mashal, which is Magic and Muscles, where the main character lives in a world where everyone knows magic except for him. So he punches his way out of situations. So he...
Okay.
It's like, well, he should be a great main character. Nope. Not a goddamn thought in that boy's head. And the only thing he cares about is sweets and cream puffs. And they have like the situation where he's like, I saw a clip of it because I watched the first episode where there's a guy and he's like, that's right. Meet my magical dragon attack. It's been known to knock out 5 people. And he just punches it out of the way. And he's like, okay.
Okay.
And that's my anime corner segment. That's pretty much the shows that I watch.
Okay. And Phoebe, do you have anything you want to mention?
All right. So, one, Trigun Stampede is amazing.
I love fucking Dragon Stampede.
So the original Trigun is perfect. Do not get me wrong. It's still one of my top 10 along with like Ergo Proxy or Steins Gate. But this new one is a bit closer to the manga. The first 12 episodes are actually a prequel somewhat to the original series, and it is so fucking good.
I'll have to hunt that down.
I have to catch up with the more recent episodes this new season so far, which for Mercury, but it is definitely up there as one of the best Gundams that they've ever made.
That's the one where they actually talk about... Oh, that's the one with the redhead main character, right?
Yep, it's Suletta. I love Suletta. While editing, my roommate has been watching this... I don't know what the name of the show is, but it's a reverse isekai. It's a necromancer skeleton guy.
Oh, yeah. That's it. Like the hero is dead.
Yeah, he gets reincarnated into our world and possesses a male idol, like just a K-pop boy band member.
Okay.
And it goes places. Besides those, started and finished The Mandalorian Season 3.
Nice!
Wow,
like
that third episode hits.
What's the third episode again?
That's the one where we're just following former Empire people for...
Oh, that's a good one.
Episodes, for 40 minutes of that episode, and then something happens, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Yeah,
Way characters.
Players in the right.
Yeah, I forgot. I just watched the first 2 again. I'm trying to get all 8 done before Wednesday and watch it with my wife. So we'll see. My wife has I start watching Mandalorian, we'll watch an episode there. She's like, okay, time back for more RuPaul.
It was either on your server or on Bill's server that somebody said that the middle of the season was the weakest part.
I can't remember.
I really enjoyed the middle of the season. I did not like the last episode until the very end. Because when you find out what the main villain's big plot point and plan was, I was like, this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
At the moment, I disagree, but I don't remember it as well. So listen to the episode that will be published later in June.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it for people, but
I liked it, but I don't really remember.
I haven't seen it, but my guess is that he wants to eat Grogu to obtain his powers. That's my.
It is practically that.
No,
oh, that type of stupid. No,
it's not.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna say it. Is it okay if I say it?
It's close to what Dark Empire did in the comics back in the 90s.
it is. I am making clones of myself that can utilize the Force. And I'm just like, what?
I just completely disagree with you. I like that a lot.
I would have been okay with it if, when Force Awakens was first getting announced, my big fan theory was that somebody was making a biological weapon that could kill midichlorians, because at the very least then you had the potential to kill the Force.
Star Wars wants you to forget that it was ever in the movies, by the way, so.
God.
It was never mentioned again after the prequel stuff.
Besides that, the other big show I watched and finished was Man in the High Castle.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah, so it's, imagine an alternate timeline where the Axis won World War II.
Jesus Christ.
But video, it's now 1962. People keep finding these film reels that show the Allies winning, showing the first H-bomb, just all these different things that never happened in their timeline. And all these films are being potentially sent out by this guy called the Man in the High Castle. The show is very good, surprisingly enough, but the big drawback on it for some people will be it is a character-driven show. It has its main characters, it has its plot points through these main characters, and because of that, once you finish the 4th season, which is the final season, it ends on a perfect note for a character-driven show, but not one for a world-driven show. It pretty much sets up that, yes, we could write another 10 seasons past this point, but since these characters' stories are over, we are done.
That's fine. I don't think that. I mean, much as I'd be interested in the world, that seems fine.
Yeah, but as a character-driven show, it is awesome.
Okay, you got my attention by saying Nazis. So
I was gonna say we watched a few movies as well. The Batman, the one with Robert Pattinson.
Yeah,
that movie is really good. It is nice to finally see a Batman movie that remembers that he is the world's greatest detective and not some superhuman.
That movie also thinks it's Saw, so. But
yeah, I was fine with that.
It's adult. I didn't like it as much.
The CGI Super Sons movie is awful.
I want to do that one for the show.
Okay. We need to get back to
Super Sons.
So there's a new movie. It's the weird, gross, like CGI, but it's like cartoon. It's supposed to be about Clark Kent's son, John Kent, and Damian Wayne. I also want to do the show because I know
somewhere Ken will just blow up over how goofy this fucking movie is.
Yeah.
And I guess Starro shows up and starts taking over people's bodies.
So Starro is the main villain, and it is a very good version of Starro. Starro does not get enough love.
He really doesn't.
I was going to say, so far the 3 iterations of Starro I can think of are not Justice League Unlimited, Batman Beyond, where he's perfect, The Suicide Squad, where he's perfect, and this, where he's the best part of the film.
Oh, okay.
My God, some of this is a Warner Brothers movie. In some of the animations, like there was a scene where Jonathan Kent is running from something. It looks worse than Ruby season 1.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I just looked it up.
When the former college student who went to school and got a degree in computer animation and game design can do a better run animation for that. And it's been 6 years since I've touched Maya. That's fucking saying something.
Phoebe, are you caught up with Ruby?
Yes.
Okay, cool. You and me are friends now.
Yeah, no, that new season I thought was going nowhere, and then when they had this, it was just like, oh, it's a little bit of world building, ha ha ha, it's this alternate dimension, and then all of a sudden they do the season finale. I'm like, this is one of the most important episodes they've done of the show ever.
I refuse to watch Ruby. I'm not watching Ruby till it ends because I'm still not over the Clover death of the gayest couple they've had on that show, and it's physically hurt me to where I can't watch it anymore.
Oh, do you mean Crow and
yes,
X? Yeah.
I can't watch that show because of that anymore. I'm like, you know what? I like you, Ruby, but you're gonna have to end because
watch this new season. We get some heavy Neo stuff.
Yeah, I've seen clips of it, and if it wasn't for the fact that I like John, I would have given up on the show a long time ago.
No, the show. I have, for the past few seasons, been in a decline of like, I just have to push through. We're so close to the end of the show. We're so close to the end. And then this season happened, and I went, I'm right back in.
Okay, maybe
I think
that's
that's
what it is then. Maybe that's what it is then. Maybe I'll watch this new season.
Yeah, this season was the best in quite a while.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I can't think of it.
Okay, Richard, do you have any other shows you want to mention or movies?
No, nothing really. I mean,
I have a couple movies still.
yeah, go ahead with your
Okay.
movies.
I watched Scream 5 while high, which was good and bad. I don't know. Every so often, like I like on a Sunday nights, because I don't work Mondays, I'm like, okay, this is the day that I can have an edible. I can get high. We can watch a movie, especially if I don't have any recordings, which I do have recordings. So I won't be doing it tomorrow. But of course, it's on Saturday. Like my wife's like, oh, let's watch Scream. I'm like, okay, sure. And as the edible kicked in at some point, like I really enjoyed that movie. I don't remember what happened. I just know that when I went to bed that night, I kept being paranoid someone's going to break in our house and murder us. I'm like, Mike, shut up. You're fine. Like nobody's in here.
No, that's fair. Ghostface is terrifying in 5 and 6. Like
5 was really like I'm not a guy into like horror movies in general at all, but I really enjoyed Scream 5. Like I was like, this is a good movie. I want to watch 6 now. They just dropped that on Paramount Plus recently, so it's on there. 5 and 6. I think maybe the rest are too, but I don't. I'll watch them at some point. But it was fun.
I'm kind of sad that they killed David Arquette in that movie.
I mean, they were kind of doing something different. You got to put away your old character sometimes.
Yeah, but I like Dewey. He's such a fucking goofball. And then like I was telling my husband because we didn't remember any of that movie, and like whenever they show like them wheeling out a body, I kind of like leaned over to him and I'm like, that can't be Dewey because 2 cops died in there and they're in a hospital. Maybe they're wheeling away the first cop and he's in there okay. And then the movie ended and I'm like, oh, I guess I can just go fuck myself.
No, I don't know. I have nothing for the Scream movies. So like, it's like, okay, cool. I've seen 1 and then that was it. So I haven't seen anything since 1. So it didn't affect me in any way or matter to me, but I thought it was a good film. I actually really enjoyed it. I'm like, this is entertaining. It ties back to the first one. It was just a cool movie. So, and because I watched 2 movies high so far, that and Punisher Warzone.
What was that?
That's okay though. But no, I enjoyed Scream 5. And then another movie I mentioned, or I want to mention, I saw Star Wars Return of the Jedi in theaters because it came back for 1 week only.
That sounds nice.
I went and saw that. That was really good. And Peter, if you're listening to this, I didn't run away from the Rancor scene like I did when I was a kid and I saw it in theaters when they had the special editions. I was terrified of the Rancor. I did blame you on that. There was a second of me that kind of shuddered a little bit when the Rancor came. I'm like, Mike, you're fine. But I really enjoyed it. It was just fun. And I went and bought a couple Funko Pops for the 40th anniversary too because I was so excited. But it was really good. It was really good to see it in theaters again. Like I love that movie. And all I can think about when I see the ending of Return of the Jedi now, all I can think of is I think it was November something in 2020 when all of a sudden everybody in Facebook was playing that song and dancing for some reason. A lot of people were. But yeah, that's what I always think of now when I see the end of Return of the Jedi.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember the date. I just remember like when it happened. People were like, there were videos of people just dancing in gas stations, just random places. I remember I put the song on, I danced and cried and was so happy. So, yeah. I don't remember the date, but yes. And you guys, I have one movie I want to go out on. You guys have any other things you want to mention before we go on our last topic?
Yeah, I've been reading a lot more comics.
Oh, what have you been reading?
The newest run, The Glass House for Sandman Nightmare Country. Super good. But there's really not that many bad Sandman things out there, besides maybe Overture.
I'm still slowly trying to get through Sandman.
Sandman is so good.
I'm on volume 6, what we need to record next for the show.
Is that Fables and Recollections?
I just know we did a Game of You, which is coming out later this month.
The weakest one.
Something.
And besides that, Fables is back. Is still super good. I recently started a DC horror comic that's under the Black Cable called The Nice House on the Lake. It is phenomenal. If you are a big fan of horror comics, you have to give The Nice House on the Lake a shot.
Ooh.
I am not. I just really want to read that. I think it's Gotham's Last Night or Batman the Last Night or something like that, where he's carrying Joker's head in a pan or something.
Oh, Last Ronin. Last Ronin is so good.
Oh yeah,
I'm actually going to be covering that later this year for the podcast.
Can't wait for the video game.
Yeah, Last Night. That's the one somebody posted a figure set of it, and I was like, I need to read this damn book. So.
Oh, for the Last Night?
Yeah. I also need to read Last Ronin too. I don't know anything about it other than I know who the Ronin is, but we've been going to the TMT stuff, me and a friend of mine, Red Fox or Rich, and so we're once we get to 50, then we're gonna take a break and read Last Ronin and some other stuff.
Yeah, I really need to start that IDW.
It's
run
really
of
damn good.
TMNT. But I also have to start the Sonic comics.
Well, I have a
You
I have
got a
thing
lot to read for Sonic comics.
There's a lot to read for TMNT.
Oh god, I have a timeline that I'm following. The next one that I'm recording, which is Monday, I'm recording about TMT and Ghostbusters, which is canon to the TMT series
Oh,
because IDW owns both.
don't
So we're
remind me
going
that
all
they
canon.
also own Ghostbusters. IDW is just going to gain every paycheck I have.
Yeah.
All right, and the last movie I want us to go out on is I went and saw yesterday, before I can mention on this podcast, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which I was really excited to go see.
Okay, Mike. I hated Thor. I hated fucking Ant-Man. Fucking love Guardians 3, dude.
I hated Thor. I haven't seen Ant-Man because of all the hate. And I was busy, so I'm just waiting for Disney Plus to get it soon.
Ant-Man is like you biting into like a jelly-filled donut and then finding out there's no filling.
I was excited for Ant-Man, then the reviews were just so bad, and everybody was bitching. I'm like, I'll just wait.
It's not bad, but one thing, like, you know how we talk about like seeing a movie like in a like kind of like a bad state affects the movie as well.
Oh god, yes.
I had really bad food poisoning to the point to where I was sweating. And so I basically emptied out my stomach and went to the movie theater and was like, I can't even fart because if I do, I'll probably shit my pants. And that was me the entire movie. And I was like, was it the movie or was it the fact that I was sick the whole time? And I was like, I'll blame the movie. The movie was bad.
You should probably rewatch it when it comes to Disney Plus then.
Yeah, I'll probably eat an edible before I eat
But no,
one too. So
I was the same. Guardians 3 was just like, I hated Guardians 2, which is on file. You can listen to our episode where I
Guardians
just bitched about it.
2. Guardians 2 fucking sucks, dude.
Some people love it. A lot of people love it, actually. When I brought it up, I just fucking hate it. But this
Just going to
movie had
hide
a great
underneath this
form of
table
comedy.
now.
It had dark ass shit happening, but it works. The villain is good. Like, I only have one complaint with the movie, and that's that has something to do with the ending. But other than that, it is a great movie.
I also have one complaint about the movie, and it's not about the ending. It's about it's the general part. It's not a big complaint, and I'll go ahead and talk about it here since it's not that big of a spoiler. I'm mad that Rocket's in a coma for like 3/4 of the movie.
I mean,
Really?
it's okay. You get him another one.
Yeah, he's in a coma and it's explaining his backstory, which is an absolutely fantastic telling, and it hurts your soul to watch what happens to him. But like I was like, oh man, I wish it wasn't in there. But you have all these, callbacks, and you have all these interesting character moments, and then you have the part where they go to a planet and you hear Hatsune Miku playing in the background, and I'm dying of laughter because it doesn't make any fucking sense. But okay,
It's a James Gunn movie. It makes sense.
yeah.
It worked extremely well, and like even though there's a joke that some people are complaining about where they call Cosmo a bad dog, and she's like, take it back, and it keeps going on and on throughout the movie. And I'm like, you know what? That sounds accurate. If a dog could talk, that seems completely accurate.
Good grief.
It's fucking funny. Like it's just if you have trauma to deal with animals, being abused and stuff like that, you have to be warned that it can really mess you up. I have a good friend of mine where she had a dog that died and she can't handle anything with like that. And I wonder, I said, the movie's great, but if you're going to go see, like, be warned, there's animal stuff that could affect you. Like, you got to know that going in, because it's like a good friend of mine, Kendall, who's been on the show. He mentioned it, like he loved, he enjoyed it. He would have enjoyed the movie, but just the stuff with Rocket was just too much. And I get it. It's extreme. I mean, yes, it is comic accurate, so I'm more okay with it. And it fits a point. It didn't feel like violent to be violent. It felt to be violent to tell a story to make you connect more. And it does, but you have to be prepared for it depending on the person, because it's dark and it can be a little hard.
I'm also surprised that this movie didn't end with any of the main cast dying.
Me too. And that to be honest, it bugs me that, like, because my prediction of this movie before it came out was that all the characters are going to be put away, they're all going to be gone, and they're never coming back. And that's what I want, personally, because I want them to put away all the old characters at this point. Like, you already put away Black Widow, and I'm upset, and that's the only character I want to stay. Like, put away the rest. Like, it's fine. Never bring Robert Downey Jr. back, please.
Was that because of, I was going to say, Joe,
what's up?
Is that because of the fan theory about the Guardian logos?
That, and they really, the trailer really does show that there's two characters who could die. One being Quill and the other one being Rocket. But
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that, and like, it's already been talked about that Batista's gone. Like, that's very official. Like, he's never coming back. I mean, So I already knew going into it that a lot of the actors are done. And that's fine. Like, you've had enough with these characters.
And I also think it's fine too, because you don't have to kill off a character to be done with them. So it's fine.
And
No,
I
they'll
do have
just
spoilers for, I mean, not a big deal, but I do have spoilers. The one comment I want to bring up. So if you are curious, you might want to turn ahead of 1 minute. Or 2 minutes, couple minutes.
Do a solid 5, because there's probably one thing I want to talk about too.
Okay, yeah. So skip ahead 5 minutes, and Richard, if you guys care, take out your headphones for a second. I can tell you when we're done. Do you guys care? It's not.
I have
don't
no
spoilers.
plans to see the movie.
Okay.
I do.
The only thing that really bugged me is the fact that in the very end credit scene, it says Star-Lord will return. I'm like, God damn it! Like, be done with Chris Pratt. Just be done. There's nothing wrong with the guy. I'm just tired of him being in so many different movies, and I'm just tired of him. Like, I'm like, just put away the character. Like, I'm tired of this. Move on.
So wait, does it say Star-Lord or does it say Peter Quill?
It says
It's
Star-Lord will
Star-Lord.
return, and it's
Somebody else could take the
I highly
title.
doubt it. It's Peter Quill.
I just think that without spoiling his situation, I think the reason why is because they said he'll be back because of where he's at, and it makes sense that he'll be back for a future movie, or at least make a cameo.
I just want to put away, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of like, when you see the other credit scene, that I like, but yeah, you're probably right. It's probably just gonna be some kind of cameo thing where he'll show up in a big movie because of where he's at, and then you'll never see him again. Which I don't know. I'm just tired of it.
Who knows? It may not even happen. It could be an entire lie.
Yeah,
Everything's
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
gonna
in
be a
the
lie.
air right now with the writer's strike and how the MCU is even going.
True.
Oh, but I did see the trailer for Marvels, which, God, am I excited for that movie. After playing the Avengers game earlier this year, like, just seeing Kamala Khan being like, you're Nick Fury. I'm like, oh, I can't wait. My wife turned to me, she
It
said,
does look good.
we're going to buy every Funko Pop of that movie. Everyone. I'm like, no!
Oh yeah. I hope there's like a 3-person Funko Pop where it has all 3 of them in their
Oh,
outfits.
they're,
Yeah.
I guarantee you it.
Maybe
yeah, I'm-
during this time with the writer's strike, they'll finally get through with some crazy cockamamie scheme to get the rights to Doctor Who away from BBC. Then they can infuse all Marvel characters with Time Lord DNA.
Oh, and last thing I want to go out on, because I forgot about, but I want to mention it. I was always confused why there were TMT Stranger Thing toy packs at Walmart and Target where I saw them. Apparently, there's a Turtles Stranger Thing comic coming out. Crossover.
Yes!
And a Turtles Street Fighter crossover coming out, too. So
Is there anybody the Turtles haven't crossed over with yet?
They crossed over with the Power Rangers, and that was pretty cool.
twice.
Yeah, that was made years ago.
There's another one currently that's out right now. At the time you're hearing this, the last issue I think just came out or it's about to come out.
With the Boom issue. Wait, Boom has the
Mhm.
rights currently to
That's
Power
why
Rangers, right?
it's not canon. So the TMT, I can unfortunately tell you everything that's canon, but they do have crossover. They have 2 different crossover, which I'm going to be reading after I.
So the triangle's now complete because Street Fighter and Power Rangers have fused.
Yes.
That's great.
Also, Power Rangers and Cobra Kai have also fused.
Yeah, and that looks silly, but great.
I couldn't get
Guys,
over the fact that there's TMT Stranger Things. I'm like, how is this even going to work? But I'll read it and I'll record about it. So hey,
Hey,
All this talk of crossovers now, and I'm thinking of that one writing contest, a character creation contest that they have on Comic Vine. The fanfic writers have a monthly contest over there, in which a topic comes up each month. The rules basically go with from the first contest. Basically, the contest goes out. Everybody tries. The person who gets the most votes gets to choose the topic for the next contest. And that particular contest, I'll admit, I came up with the crossover contest idea, but the only stipulation I put on it was of course, obviously, one must be a comic or have comic roots somewhere, but I basically put on there, it can't be a pre-existing crossover.
Ooh.
So that meant basically TMNT Power Rangers was out at the time, was not viable. I think my own entry for the contest, which didn't win, was Generation X at the time and Dresden Files.
Yes. Love Dresden.
And the one that won, I believe, was Rick and Morty and Judge Dredd.
Ooh.
No, I stand corrected. It wasn't that. It was something else. I think it was Aliens and Teen Titans.
Aliens, the aliens, like
Yes.
Alien versus Predator.
Technically, that was a crossover. In the very sense that DC and Aliens have crossed over.
Well, let's see. They had DC, they had Aliens and Batman, they had Aliens and Superman. I don't think they ever had Aliens and Teen Titans.
I have no idea.
I mean, let's face it, I saw a fic years ago that was the whole Marvel Universe in Aliens.
That makes sense, though.
Did anybody do Invader Zim and Mars Attacks?
Oh, I watched the shit out of that.
That would be funny as hell.
All right, I think we should wrap this up.
Okay.
And Phoebe, where can people find you at?
Hi, I'm the Let's Play Princess. You can find me on Twitch and YouTube under that name, or you can find me on Twitter underneath the LP Princess.
And Richard, where can people find you at?
You can find me up on YouTube under Rich Kale. You can also find my writing stuff on various websites like fanfiction.net, Archive of Our Own, Comic Vine. I got a lot of stuff up there.
Okay. And if you enjoyed this episode, we do one of these every single month. We've been doing this now for over 2 years. Every month I've been making a What Are You Playing episode. You can just search. You can go on Podbean and search, and you can find anything you're looking for. We've covered so many different topics throughout the almost 5 years of the show. So Batman, type that in, Star Wars, you'll find plenty of content. Everything's on Podbean. You can just search and find our huge catalog. And if you want to support the show, we do have a Patreon. For the little dollar, you can vote in our Patreon. Currently, we have a Patreon poll every month where you get to decide a movie episode, usually, of what I'm going to be doing on the show. Current poll is sequel movies Mike has never seen, Resident Evil Damnation, Back to the Future 2, Ghostbusters 2016, Blade Runner 2049. So you can vote for a little dollar what you want to see. Just go on there.
And unfortunately, he will not take suggestions, so don't even think of put Reanimator 2 in there.
You can. You can do it on Patreon. You can join our Discord. There's just something. I've done one thing so far on that list, Boat Tie, which I'm very glad Phoebe mentioned. Recommended for me to play. So go look at that episode too. Also want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro, courtesy of Helena at Hell Has Fury, and you can find her on TikTok. She's over 100K followers. Definitely go follow her and tell her I sent you. She'll tell me. So definitely go support her. Also, my buddy Bill Tucker started his own podcast, The Gamer Looks at 40. Well over a year ago at this point, but definitely go check him out. He went through all the Zelda series. Really great show called Gamer Looks at 40. You'll see a link in the show notes for that. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube. Audio only, but we are on YouTube. I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you later.